Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. Y'all tend to really enjoy the hot takes videos and stuff like that, and I don't mind busting them out when it's a little bit quiet. We're kind of just waiting on our boy Cellmax, LR Cellmax, to be tweeted out. So, knocking out one or two of these here and there, no big deal. So Rhodey is someone that oftentimes, is talking about some stuff I wouldn't really agree with, I would say. Rhodey's one of the biggest AGL LR Vegito Blue defenders. I shudder to see AGL Vegito Blue, that mid character, show up. So let's pray that we don't see them. So let's jump in. AGL Broly and Gogeta should have switched mechanics. Okay, so before I read further, Broly has a domain, which every top tier character on Super Bosses essentially has domains. It's stupid. And then Gogeta has kind of like the taunt ability, which, again, on Superhero, his main team, although he is a movie hero leader, but Beast is on that as well. Beast has got like kind of like the taunt ability as well. So it's like they're just overloading the same abilities on the same teams when it would benefit more from spreading them out. Gogeta, you're not running two of. Well, I mean, I have run, movie heroes a lot. So I wouldn't say that, because I mean, carnival leaders are good leaders. Gogeta has a really good leader skill, right? Like you could run double Gogeta a lot, right? Because Gogeta is 200% to movie hero. That's a very good leader skill right there. So having his transformation tied to a domain doesn't hurt him at all. And Beast has the taunt. Broly running two of them optimally. Him having a taunt is more in character. I mean, certainly it would be better. Yeah, I think of how much better the Super Bosses team is if Broly has a taunt. Now, the only thing though is, so like if you're running two Gogetas, you won't be able to transform with both. Like the characters would have to be changed quite a bit, because Gogeta is like, he loses his guard. Where is it? Yeah, right here. Like, if you have a base Gogeta that's stuck in base, I mean, he's a loser. You as soon as you're ready to turn into blue Gogeta, you have to. So, I mean, that would have had to be, like, this is a fine point though, sure. Red Zone Fusion Zamasu is the worst designed, hardest fight in the game's history. Let me finish it and then I'll give my thoughts. Oh, okay. Yes, Broly was harder on release, but you actually got to play the game. Zamasu was you either win easily or you're dead before you even attack. Fusion Zamasu is just an opening rotation simulator. Now, I'm not super gonna disagree with, so like all of this, Broly was harder on release. You did get to play the game, although, again, define get to play the game when it's 99% death once you pass Wrath Broly. Like, I just don't see how we're gonna just be like, yeah, Fusion Zamasu's AoE right away is just so bad when, like, I mean, okay, Broly on release, you didn't have characters that could survive his AoE. Like, I'm pretty sure my first, I almost have to pull this up. I believe the first no item run I ever got on Red Zone Broly, he did not super the first turn, I believe. And that was when I was finally able to beat him. People forget you couldn't, because you cannot dodge him. You can't dodge. Like, that's the thing. I don't know. Again, maybe I live in a bubble where I'm the only one who understands, like, how valuable dodge can be. But, like, AGL UI Goku is one of the best characters in the game, still at the time when Red Zone first dropped. And, like, UI Goku, he would have been able to help out against the Broly AoE. But guess what? Broly canceled dodge. There was nothing you could do. That's why, like, I just couldn't disagree harder. Like, this notion. Look at this. Like, I took a screenshot. Oh my god. The second we go in, it was so crazy that I actually got through this phase without items that I took a screenshot, dude. That's how ridiculous this was. This is March 4th. Broly had been out for multiple weeks and I couldn't no item in it. I'm sorry. Like, I know Fusion Zamasu, it sucks when you jump right in and then he kills you instantly. I got it. But, I mean, bro, like, you couldn't do a fucking thing against Broly. The no item run we get here is only because he doesn't super on this turn. Like, the character intended for this event, the gods, they literally have type advantage in his final phase when he's AGL. Their defensive mechanic is dodge, which you can't dodge him. I truly will never even understand how this is even an argument. I don't get it. And like, we're here, it's turn 5. Okay, like, you die against Fusion Zamasu in 20 seconds. Is that truly worse than 10 minutes and then you instantly die with 0 counterplay unless he just chooses to not super? Like, maybe I'm not presenting my argument well. I can't even see how you could possibly even put the two next to each other. Zamasu is like less than half in worst designed, most annoying, frustrating, all of it is like less than half. Rhodey is a JP player too, so a lot of global players didn't really get to experience what I'm talking about because there was a lot of elite options that were, like, a lot more options were around, right, compared to when this dropped, you know, on JP, right? But Rhodey's a JP player. So, like, Rhodey's not like a global player who got, like, kind of like Broly, like, way later after 6 months, and, you know, global had gotten a bunch of 200% characters and stuff like that. So, I don't know, man. This is just, I mean, maybe it's just me. I am, like, kind of the only person, or, like, a very, very small few who doesn't really, like, oh my god, I hate Fusion Zamasu so much. Like, the amount of crying this fight caused is crazy, considering global players, like my first 6 runs, I didn't even beat him, but again, I wasn't using it. Like, it's no item run or I'm not winning. And, like, dude, global players, everyone, like, cleared it instantly. Like, I didn't the first day. And I'm still the one who's not, like, I'm not super annoyed by Fusion Zamasu. I don't know. This shit was annoying and unfair. It's incomparable. So, I mean, I don't even need to show, obviously, that he doesn't super attack on this turn, because the LR gods are not built like that. And that's another point I can make, too. I'm sorry. The 7th anniversary LRs are not even in Beast Gohan's realm. The 7th anniversary LRs are not at the table with STR Gogeta and Beast and LR Kalen Khalifa. They're not there. Sorry. Because they were getting cocked by Broly. So, I'm not, they, as good as they were, best units in the game by far, for sure. Both 7th anniversary LRs. The events were stronger than them. They were blowing them away. There's no fucking way you're going to tell me that they're the best units in Dokkan history, or even at the table, when they are getting splattered by the bosses. Okay, alright, moving on. If Supreme Battle Spectacle were released during 2023 worldwide, same stats and all, Beast and Gogeta would have been considered easier fights than Zamasu. No. No. It's just not true. There were a ton of tools available to take on long-form content. I playtested this too. Worldwide download celebration teams cook Supreme Battle Spectacle. I mean, certainly, you know, like, things go your way. I always, once AGL Blue Vegito transforms, like, once you get him out, I mean, he is very good. I've never had a problem with him whatsoever. I mean, future Gohan could get smoked towards the end, but, I mean, you know, I guess you can get some good RNG with Gogeta not AoEing and stuff like that. You do have character I mean, you know, people get really salty when he's brought up now, but, I mean, Orange Piccolo exists, man. You know, no matter how tough these bosses are, you know, Piccolo's there, and they just can't super, and they can't get their nasty mechanics oftentimes. But no, I mean, I think this is crazy. I mean, no. The Fusion Zamasu is not even, it would not have been considered tougher, and it's not even close to the Supreme Battle Spectacle fights. It's just insanity. The Fusion Zamasu stuff is crazy to me. You guys, I've been saying this for a long time now. Okay, as a result, I don't believe it's fair to say that Supreme Battle Spectacle was any form of actual event power creep, but just a meta shift for the game. Okay. Now, again, I just can't. I mean, I don't want to be too rude, but hold on. I mean, I'm sorry, but like when we just go, okay, so there's that. I mean, this kid Fusion Zamasu is an actual pussy next to these Supreme Battle Spectacle bosses, man. This guy is fodder. Like, sorry that he has an AoE right away, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you guys had dodge on some of your characters, it'd be less of an issue. I'm just saying, you know? Or maybe I'm just an idiot. All right, let's just take a look at, I don't know, Trunks, stage 4. Let's look at stage 4 Trunks. Okay, so the boss you're fighting on turn 3 oftentimes, well, to be fair, you also could be fighting this guy on turn 3. But, like, look at this. So I guess Zamasu, his normals hit a little bit harder than Trunks. Remember that Zamasu does get an attack buff that Trunks doesn't get. So Zamasu's super attack is going to hit a bit harder. Zamasu's going to be a little bit closer to, what, like 1.9 million, 1.95 million, something like that, in that range. He attacks 8 times per turn. But, oh, yeah, by the way, Trunks is a locking boss. So, you know. Yeah. Now, again, Zamasu is doing a little bit more damage, but, I mean, this guy is 1,000 times more threatening than this kid. And then, oh, yeah, there's one more phase where he supers for 3 million, and his normals are doing, like, 1.5 million. Like, how can you say with a straight face that's not power creep? Like, this boss, his final phase is like a warm-up phase in some of these Supreme Battle. Okay, so I just use Trunks as an example because he's way down here. To be honest, Vegeta and UI are they're real fights, but they're not like toxic. Unfortunately, in order for a boss to really be notable, they kind of have to have toxic shit, which Trunks has. I would consider 3 million plus supers to be fairly toxic. And locking. So Trunks has 2 different toxic things. So we could look at Gogeta, which is kind of the standard go-to fight for, like, hardest fight or whatever. So, again, I mean, we get to here. At this Gogeta, his damage, he's obviously hitting, you know, a fair amount harder than Fusion Zamasu. But then you get to this next phase, and now he's supering for 2.5 million, and it's very common he double supers, right? And, I mean, yes, you could attack debuff him, but, bro, he's double supering. Like, it's an issue. And then he still has another phase, where he's supering for damn near 4 million. And, I mean, his normals are hitting for way over 1 million. Like, I just don't see how you could say with a straight face that this fight is a joke. It's literally, yeah, okay. It's just, like, let's just end this by saying, you're wrong, and we won't go deeper than that. Okay, Easy A's and Super Easy A's should not be judged as 2021 or 2016 units or whatever. Okay, let me just do a quick pause. Oftentimes, this is something I am saying, right? So, in particular, I thought a big one was EGO Super Saiyan 3 Goku, where I go, by the way, he's a 2015 unit. So, it's like him being effective in all these fights and having legitimate uses is pretty solid. So understand that like, you know, one of the people Rhodey's talking to right here, like, is me. Like, I say this. These are units releasing in 2024. Should be judged the same as other premium releases. I disagree, because, you know, it's like these are characters that have been on many banners. 5 banners, 7 banners, 10 banners. And then now they're, you know, I mean, if we would look at, like, a lot of the best characters in the game right now are just flat out easy characters. Like, okay, you know what? There's a video I could pull up that within the last couple of days, right here. In this video, Fusion Zamasu could do nothing against this team. Fusion Zamasu literally could do nothing. At the end of this video, I'm saying I don't even know if I should do Fusion Zamasu as a showcase stage, because Fusion Zamasu is actually so pathetic compared to the 9th anniversary fights. And look at the team. Fusion Zamasu could do nothing against this team. Do you guys see the theme of this team right here? We have one summonable character in the last 3 years. One. It's Topo. Easy A's is that the thing that like they're just so good that like now we just need to expect that they're all that good? Especially since many of the EZAs we've gotten this year are outright better than a lot of new units. This is true. This is so true. Like these EZA characters are blowing like summonable units out of the way. But I just don't agree. When they're saying, so like again, you look at this team. Topo, it's they're like, hey, you want to rainbow him? Give us $1,000 and he's yours to rainbow. I just don't see like why we're grading that character on the same scale as Kefla, right? Who, again, well, actually, I can answer this. How many banners do we think Kefla has been on? Let's take a look. Let's not count. I'm going to count like real Dokkan Fest banners. So I'm not going to count like this. We're not going to count that. I'm not going to count that like these. Yeah, but I mean, this is part of what I mean though. Like you could be like a free-to-play player or a player or something like that, and you pull Kefla with your tickets on these types of banners, right? And she would have been on years of these banners, years of them. So there she was on Kale's banner. Then she was on, this was a worldwide ticket banner right there. She's on Vegeta and Trunks' banner. She's on Ginyu's banner. New Year's Step Up banner. She's on Kale and Khalifa's banner. There's another worldwide download celebration banner, right? Then she was on, Evolution Blue Vegeta 6th anniversary LR banner. Another New Year banner. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's banner. Then her own banner. It's like, this is why I don't really think EZAs are intended to usually be just like, okay, like her versus, we could just use Topo as the example because that's like the team, and I mean they release close apart or something like that, but it's a character you're gonna like, bro, like there's a good chance you've got her. If you have been playing since she originally came out, there's a good chance you've got her, right? Between her appearance on all these different worldwide ticket banners and stuff like that. Now, she's on 2 Dokkan Fest LR banners. These are banners where I really anticipate or expect people are summoning. Evolution Blue Vegeta, and then she was also on Vegeta and Trunks' banner, right? And Ginyu was an ultra popular banner because of how good he was, because of how good the Ginyu Force was. And of course, remember, he was the first TUR 200% leader, right? He was the third 200% leader in the game after LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and the LR Gods. So I just don't agree. I don't agree at all. I think the only EZA this year who I would say flat out is not good enough is Bardock. It's Bardock. Bardock is not good enough. Super Vegeta, in my opinion, is good enough. He's not top tier like a lot of the other characters. I would argue Super Vegeta has got value across the game. I actually have to do an update for this with Super EZA Goku Black. So here's kind of like, do I think anything different about this besides, including Goku Black? I don't think so. I don't think I would change anything you see here besides removing Future Gohan with the next one, which I'll put out. I mean, I could probably put it out today, I guess. But Future Gohan is gone, and then Super EZA Goku Black slides in somewhere. Yeah, I know where I'm going to put him. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, ECAs have been so good. But I do disagree. I mean, I think this is very relevant, and it does matter. If AGL Bardock didn't get his EZA this year, Super Saiyan 3 Goku would be the worst Dokkan Fest EZA so far this year. No, I mean, I would put him above Super Vegeta. It's absolutely not as strong as he should build the. I do disagree, but I mean this is true. We can pull him up. He is pretty reliant on that 30% to turn. Like it turns him into a dodge or die for sure. Because if he doesn't have this up, he's not very tanky against the toughest bosses. By the way, see, I don't want to dwell on Fusion Zamasu too much, but this is where we get, like, Rhodey is kind of contradicting themselves a bit, I think, because this guy, you take him into Fusion Zamasu, and Fusion Zamasu does nothing. Like, this guy kills Fusion Zamasu instantly, right? So, like, I don't understand how Fusion Zamasu is tougher than Supreme Battle Spectacle fights, when, I mean, this guy just fodderizes those fights in 2 seconds. But Supreme Battle Spectacle, like, this is where this guy really has trouble. Because you dodge, you get the defense for 3 turns, but then when that wears out, he is a sitting duck. I think there's one big change to make to him. I mean, you can give him higher dodge, sure. But this should be like 7 turns. Not 3, but like 7 turns. That's what this guy needed to be significantly more of an effective character. But yeah, I don't agree. Do we have this still up? Yeah, I mean, I get, to be fair, I mean, only, Bardock obviously is the worst. I mean, no one's, talking about that. But I like Dragon Fist over Super Vegeta. I think Super Vegeta's fine as well. No, definitely not. Wait, what? Hold on. But let's pull them up. I stopped using this character a lot. I mean, here's the number one reason. Unfortunately, they messed up bad with this character. Because this character is like only, it's a superhero buffing character. You guys see what the problem is yet? You know a team doesn't need like just a banner unit help? The superhero team. The superhero team that you remove 3 of the top 10 characters, from superhero, and it's still the best team in the game, right? Like I mean, a lot of it is Beast, because Beast is untouchable and he protects everything. But like all these other superhero characters are just that good. But I would argue this character is worthless, I think. And again, I stopped using them because you have your 30% chance to dodge. And then they get up to 60% if you're all other superhero allies in the rotation, which, you're probably going to want to just run them on full superhero. But like this, like superhero is filled with legends. Legends of Dokkan history is the superhero team right now. And then you just bring this fodder character, like introducing them to your team is introducing your lose condition, right? Like, if we're running Beast, Gogeta, UI, Evolution Blue Vegeta, like take your pick of the 7 other like really good characters. It's like the second you add them, you're adding a real character who's actually going to get killed. I just can't agree. Given 2 turn 50% support to the best team in the game while having 60% dodge, it's not good enough. 60% dodge is not good enough. I can't, like, the second we're talking about any type of character who is actually, like, a dodge or die, like, seriously, like, even from normals, it's just 60% dodge is just flat out not good enough. Anything under than 70, and I'm very iffy on it. And, I mean, you guys know this, I talk about it all the time. If we're dodge or die and it's not 70%, like, I don't trust it. I don't. Like, again, a lot of people don't really understand my thoughts on dodge because they don't choose to. They just... Yeah, it's frustrating how the community is about dodge, but whatever. Being able to tank normals. I mean, they can under specific situations, but I mean, understand that bosses are, doing normals for like 1.5 plus million, and there's a bunch of them that do. A team that'll just revive if they're ever caught by a super. Well, I mean, you're not going to have a revive on each turn, right? Like, I mean, sure. So we're going to specifically have them on the same rotation as Evolution Blue Vegeta. So putting this fodder character, that means we're floating Beast now, for this character. There's a good argument for them as 5th best TUR. I think there's a good argument for them as 55th best TUR. I think you would probably make a good case for that. No, not that bad, but no way. Again, I used them a little bit, and like they would just take a ton of damage, and I said, why use them? I think that this character, they would have been better designed to work around another team rather than Superhero is just too good. So like they just really have no place. I mean, if you just kept them exactly the same and then swapped them to super bosses, I mean, certainly I'd be running them nonstop, right? But I mean, how different are they than Broly, Chai, and Lemo when Broly, Chai, and Lemo don't have their 7 orbs up, right? They have an extra 10% dodge, which is definitely going to help. In my experience with these dodge characters, you can always feel like the jump to the next level. But you can also really feel it when they're not 70%. I am not a fan whatsoever of this character. I think they're just not good enough. And it just being like limited specifically to superhero. What categories do we have again? We have Join Forces, Bond of Parent and Child, Superhero, Movie Hero, Battle of Wits, and Battle of Fate. I think they would have been much better off built around a different category than superhero. I do not see anyone run this character because they're just you're bringing a losing character to a winning team, right? Like there's no reason to bring them. Because it's just unnecessary. It truly is. They're not bringing... Their support is really good. But they're not bringing as much to the table as one of these strong characters. Like, I like Orange Piccolo, right? People hate him nowadays. We bring Orange Piccolo to the fight, and he completely takes away any boss's strongest strength. Like, Kid Buu, Gogeta, and Trunks... their damage really gets, like, unsustainable to survive, typically after they super. I mean, Kid Buu's designed a little bit differently, so more so there's a Trunks and Gogeta thing. Like, Sword of Hope Trunks is not scary if you can't super. Same with Blue Gogeta. Like, if Blue Gogeta can't super and can't AoE, he's not really that scary. So. Yeah. Okay. A lot of disagreements I'm having here. Okay. Units shouldn't be judged in a vacuum. Units lead teams, and units have teams. If a unit's best friend's providing some kind of support or coverage, should be considered the unit has access to those same tools via their best friend team building game. I mean, I don't super disagree, but, like, isn't this kind of like... this is kind of like a common knowledge thing, right? Like, it's like, okay, like, Frieza could be really good, but he's got no help. So, like, it's really not good running him. Like, a lot of my criticisms with Super EZA Goku Black is, like, they're making us run a full Super Bosses team. Like, yeah, yeah. Like, I'm with this for sure. And, like this guy, like, I infamously have really disliked this guy for a long time. Right? For legitimate reasons, which, I mean, you go through these videos where I'm using them, and, I mean, his flaws are popping up. And, again, I mean, people will bring this up more than I do, but they'll say, oh, your Gohan is built wrong because I've got mostly dodge. But then in these videos, my Gohan is supering, and then he does a normal, and then he does another normal, which is the hidden potential system normal. So it's not my build. The character just, he wasn't effective. He's badly designed, right? We've gone over this in dozens of videos. However, since Beast came out, Beast does, in fact, cover up many weaknesses that this Ultimate Gohan has, including having an incredible ability that Beast Gohan has, where when he gets hit, he gives 3 ki to the other characters on rotation, which is ridiculously powerfully good. I've used Ultimate Gohan and praised him repeatedly in some of these fights, like the Kid Buu fight. Ultimate Gohan is very good against Kid Buu, right? Ultimate Gohan is helped significantly by this guy. But not every character is going to get help the same way Ultimate Gohan did. I mean, Ultimate Gohan has the greatest character in the history of the game that I've ever used day one. Since I started Rainbow and every single character day one, we get physical Future Gohan, physical, LR Bardock. No character's been better than Beast the first day they come out. Like, all of his abilities, the way he dominates the game, the way he protects other characters, no character can emulate what Beast does for the last 6 years. Again, I wasn't there the day STR Gogeta came out, so I'm not super comfortable just, like, talking about something I wasn't there to experience, but yeah. Beast is just, yeah. No. These guys are actually rather underrated. If you think they're not, you're one of the people underrating them. No. They're not underrated at all. A lot of these... One thing that I can appreciate from Rhodey here, a lot of these takes are... They're actually opposition to things I say all the time. So, sure, I mean, it's fine, because this gives me a chance to argue my points against... Because most of these tweets, it feels like, are actually referenced at me. Okay. Yes, they're not underrated, because everyone loves them. Like, there's no way they're underrated. I can't see it. When everyone just talks about how the Gamma, how can they possibly be underrated when everyone just says they're underrated and no one says anything negative about this character at all? It just doesn't make any sense. How could they possibly be underrated? 50% support to the best team in the game. That is true. And unlike Krillin and 18, who are, introducing your loss condition into the team, the Gammas are very, very tough to crack and get killed. They can be. At their first turn, they're not very good. I mean, if they're going to get pressure from a big boss. And it is possible that you could just have really bad orb luck with Gamma 1 later on. But, I mean, essentially invincible is, I would agree with this. Basically invincible the entire fight. Pretty much, yeah, that's true. Rapidly increasing damage reduction on top of actually decent damage, Gotmas. Yeah, I mean, again, I just disagree with the notion that they're underrated. They're not. They never have been, ever. Never. No way. No way. But all of this is true. They are Gotmas, yes, for sure. OG Dragon Ball and Saiyan Saga aren't hype enough to be headliners for Anniversary or Worldwide. I mean, it's just, I think it's very simple. There's a reason. I mean, how much Saiyan Saga and, whatchamacallit, Dragon Ball are they headlining in, okay, look at this, in Sparking Zero material. Now, I know what people would say. Oh, well, actually, they do show Saiyan Saga. Great Ape Vegeta against, oh yeah, against Super Saiyan Goku. That's what they're pushing, right? And I mean, they do show the Raditz because it's the start of the story mode and the start of the Saiyan Saga with your ability to kind of like, pick your own choices and do what ifs and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, it is just a thing with Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is about the Saiyans beating their heads in. The Saiyans beating the shit out of each other. That is what Dragon Ball has become. That is what most people are tapped in and tuned into Dragon Ball for. People want to see Super Saiyans. They want to see new Super Saiyan forms. They want to see that fighting. The thing with OG Dragon Ball and Saiyan Saga is, well, we do have a lot of Saiyans in the Saiyan Saga, obviously. It's before Super Saiyan is a thing, which is kind of like the biggest thing in Dragon Ball. So, like, I do think more of the main reason they're not headlined, and we saw Saiyan Saga as part 2 of the 7th Anniversary LR, and people say, what? They're some of the worst releases in Dokkan history, and people hated how they did it, right? But mostly, I mean, because they're Yellow Coin LRs and not Dokkan Fests. But I don't think Dokkan would be confident enough to rock Saiyan Saga. For Anniversary, no way. Worldwide is maybe more so. Let's finish reading this, and I'll continue my thoughts. While yes, they're both very good parts of the series, do love both. Yep, facts. Difference between something being very good story-wise and being good for being a big celebration headliner. Could see a unit from either of these being one of the headliners. I just can't see it being the theme for an entire celebration or even one of the main parts of a celebration. I could definitely see it being a part of a celebration. I mean, a full, like, Saiyan Saga, like, Anniversary or Worldwide, it just doesn't have the juice. And, if you disagree, you're wrong. It's just the way the thought is of the series, and it's the way the game devs are thinking. Like, remember, they, have to pull in money with these banners and these celebrations and stuff like that. They're just not gonna go with, all right, we're gonna go with, Great Ape Vegeta and Kaioken Goku as part 1 of the anniversary, and then part 2 is gonna be, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you go that, and then part 2 would be like Namek, Goku, and Frieza or something like that. But it's like, they're always going to want to go for fusions, because fusions are the safe money bets, and they always want to go for Super Saiyans as well. I do think like Namek, Goku, and Frieza could be part of an anniversary, and I think like Kid Goku could be part of an anniversary. I think even maybe Demon King Piccolo could be part of an anniversary as well. But it would be something like we saw in the 7th Anniversary, where they release like some of the most hype, crazy, beloved characters ever in the 7th Anniversary LRs, and then they could get away with then doing like Kid Goku and DKP or something like that. I do think, well, I mean, I think after they did Piccolo Jr. and 23rd World Tournament Goku, maybe not so much, But I feel like Kid Goku and Demon King Piccolo, they could definitely get away with them as Dokkan Fest LRs. I don't know about Part 1 to Anniversary or some shit like that, but I do at least think they could do it with Kid Goku and, like, Demon King Piccolo. I do think, like, you know, like Great Ape Vegeta and Kaioken Goku could be mixed in with Worldwide or Anniversary with more hype characters like they did before. But them just, I mean, I agree. There's a reason we're not seeing it in any game. You guys understand. It's not just Dokkan. Legends is the same way, right? You look at the marketing for all these games. Like, it's like there's a primary focus, and that's Super Saiyans and Fusions. Like, that's what it is. Without the current meta and teams, our physical LR Ultimate Gohan is performing better than his HL counterpart. Okay, AJL severely hurt by not being able to be run next to LR Beast Gohan on any good teams. Well, not being able? Why? Teams? Let me just double check. One thing I was forgetting a lot was... it was when Tech Ultimate Gohan was coming out. In my head, I was thinking that Tech Ultimate Gohan was on Bond, a Master and a Disciple, which Beast leads, and he wasn't. So, what do we got right here? Let's see. I know he needs at least some Buu Saga, like, he needs Buu Saga allies. Well, the thing is, he's going to be at his best on a full Buu Saga team, since you could really take advantage of this, right? And this as well, I guess. Because Ki can be an issue for him. But this, it's... Buu Saga doesn't feel nearly as bad for this guy as it is for Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I don't think so. By the way, I do probably anticipate... If Cell Max is an Yellow Coin LR, I think we're going to see a lot of stuff like this. This is what they're going with Yellow Coin LRs right now. Ginyu's got it. Ultimate Gohan has it. And if Cell Max is a Yellow Coin LR, I expect he'll have it as well. What are our teams? Buu Saga, Beast is not there. Hybrids, Beast is there. Goku Family, Beast is there. Kamehameha, Beast is not on Kamehameha. Powerful Comeback. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. He is not on Powerful Comeback. Okay. Power Wishes, Rapid Growth. It's funny. Powerful Comeback, sure. Power Wishes, sure. Rapid Growth? I feel like Beast could be on Rapid Growth. Bond of Parent and Child, they share. Right, so one Bond of Parent and Child leader, and bam. Sibling Bond, they're on. Earthbred Fighters, they're on. Again, one Earthbred Fighter team, they're good. That's Savior, which Beast is not on. Right? Yeah, right. Revenge, Beast isn't on. And then that is Entrusted Will. Beast is on Entrusted Will. They have a lot of teams together, man. They've got a ton of teams. So I just saying they can't be run together, I don't even think that's not even true. You can. And I mean, you guys might have noticed, like, you know, they do link very well. Like, you can run Beast plus AJL Ultimate Gohan together. Like saying you can't do that is not correct. I guess, on any good teams, yeah. Physical Ultimate Gohan just has the privilege of being on superheroes, which edges him over AGL. I don't know that I would necessarily like argue against this or something like that. This guy is significantly better with Beast in the game. This guy doesn't lose his guard though. I don't know. I could see the point here, but this guy does still have limitations. Like, it's not like he can still get smoked if Beast's active is not up. Oh, man. I do kind of want to skip this one. Let's just read it, and then okay. Y'all knew this was coming. At the moment, these guys are one of the biggest skill one of the biggest skill check units in the game, but they aren't even hard to use. At the moment, against the myriad of long content in the game that they are built to take on their top 10 to 15 easy. Only weak fights right now are Cell Max and Kid Buu. Unit was always built for longer content. I believe people are still stuck in the 2023 short fight mindset. Vegeto's out for multiple turns against the difficult content. They have the best leader skill in the game. That just flat out probably is still true. That they just have the best leader skill in the game. Giving them access to virtually every top tier character. If you still have trouble using them with all that, then that's honestly on you more than it is on them. All right, since we're still talking about it. Trash Onion a little base form for the EGL Blues is perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Weakest part of the unit is actually Vegeto. Post-fusion, he's very much dodge or die against the big boss supers. Vegeto portion should have been stronger. I feel like almost everything here is just wrong. They do have the best leader skill in the game, I think, though. Yeah. I mean, you could just say, Beast, Gohan, or Gammas because they lead superhero, sure, but you guys get, you get it. You get, what the point with that is, right? I just, no. Vegeto is fine. The problem is these fucking losers right here. Dumb and Dumber right here. These idiots. These dumb fucks. They are the problem. That's the issue. Because they're only guarding for 2 turns. And the game is run them in slot 1 or else they instantly die. So when you get to turn 5 and you're not under 70% HP, you're probably losing. Right? Like Rhodey has said, oh, just run physical Gogeta in slot 1. It's comedy. It's comedy. No, this is just all wrong. This character sucks. End of story. Another unit massively helped by the shift in content. LRZ Duo is possibly the most underrated unit currently in the Dokkan community outside of Kibu or a top 10 contender. They're not a top 10 contender, but I would... This is a character I think is actually an underrated character. Yes, I would agree. This is what an underrated character looks like. Not a character that's unanimously top 5 level in Gammas. No. This is an underrated character. Right now, something that pretty much every top tier unit shares, having mechanics still on the protector rotation. Okay. So I ask you this, what's a stronger protection mechanic than deleting the boss from existence? Okay, sure. I mean, they still are absolute fodder before you go into their standby, though. I agree that this character's underrated. Top 10 contender, I would get a strong hell no, but they are underrated. Yeah, I do agree. LR Beast is a stronger unit than STR Gogeta was on release. STR Gogeta is the strongest unit compared to the units around him. 7 releasing alongside 3s and 4s. LR Beast is the strongest unit compared to the content, completely unable to be touched. A true beast. STR Gogeta is more important to have at the time. If you didn't have them, you didn't have the game, basically. But that's just because all the units are so weak compared to the content. Beast is more dominating against the bosses than Gogeta ever was. I feel like I'm inclined to agree, but again, I was not there when when STR Gogeta came out, so I mean, certainly one point to make. I want to double check what his exact release date was. So his EZA was at the end of 2019. Yeah, it's going to be right here. Yep, here it is. July 7th. Okay. So back then, 8 years ago, so June 15th, 2016, STR Gogeta was still the best unit in the game, just like Beast. But when this guy dropped, STR Gogeta was replaced. Hard replaced. That's best unit in the game. And it's it's incomparable, because this guy, Gogeta was 3 key and 3,000 to stats, right? And this guy is 3 key, 70% right there. Wait, it was 3 key and... Was it just 3,000 to attack? It was just 3,000 to attack? Or stats? It's just 3,000 to attack, yeah. Look at the difference in leader skill. AGL, 3 key, 70% of stats, versus all types 3 key and plus 3,000 attack. It's comedy. That is 6 months apart, basically. Comedy, dude. Comedy. We'll see. I feel like, well, I mean, do I think Beast is going to get replaced by the Tanabata LR? No. It's possible. They've been designing good characters this year. This is the most fun meta the game has ever had. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's got to be. One reason, loads of different types of difficult content, both short and long, having tons of units strong enough to compete in these events. Dokkan's been cooking the past 6 months. Look forward to 10th anniversary and beyond. It's very unfortunate for Global because this time period is not going to be looked at as fondly because of the limbo that Global is in. But yeah, this is like the best time period for Dokkan ever. All these characters this year are pretty much good. There's actually 20 tough fights in which to judge characters in. It's things. Dokkan is killing it so hard right now. It's true. That's why, thank God, we're going to get the sync. Some pictures of my cats. Yeah, Rhodey made this thread aimed at me to then end it with the cats, which we love. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty fire. That's pretty fire. I saw this. This was a good tweet. Yeah, that was a good tweet. I mean, okay, so Rhodey made a bunch of tweets. I think these takes certainly aimed at various things I've said. I think so. But that's good, because we got direct opposition to a lot of things I routinely say, right? Or some of it agreement. I mean, I'm just not even... maybe I'm just a stubborn, dumbass, old idiot, but... Like, I'm, like, putting my fingers in my ears and blocking out talk about this character. Unless you're saying, yeah, they suck. Like, I'm just like, I can't even listen, man. I'm so serious. This character, they were so good in the Dismal Future Red Zone. We're not taking that away from them. But, bro, they have the worst transformation condition ever conceived in conjunction with their ability where they're only guarding from their intro. It's horrendous. I hate this character so much. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate you. I hate you, and I hate you. You're cool. You're good. He's good. He's good. I hate you. I hate you. Yep. And then a lot of the other points. This was a good one. This was a good one. 47 minutes. Ay. All right, anyway. Goodbye, everyone. I love you. Mwah!